is my video about the questions. My name is Sam. I'm 16 years old. I will be turning 17 in August, and I will be graduating high school as a 17-year-old. That'll be interesting. An interesting fact or two about myself is, well, number one, I'm a furry. I am a fursuiter. I have my fursuit in the other room, and I am a very proud furry. I am very open and about it. I don't feel ashamed about being a furry. I am not one of those bad ones that gives our fandom a reputation. I feel like I'm a very loving and caring one, and I think it's a very loving and caring community. I am part of way too many fandoms. If you take a look over my shoulder, you can see that I have a bunch of I have a bunch of pop figures from a bunch of different TV shows. I think there's a Grell right here. There's a Toothless right here. Grell's from Black Butler. Toothless is from How to Train Your Dragon. I can't coordinate. Anyway, there's a bunch of other characters and stuff on that. I mean, there's a Rainbow Dash at the very top. I see Oogie Boogie from here. There's a bunch of characters that I'm part of the Supernatural fandom, obviously. I'm part of the Five Nights at Freddy's fandom. I'm part of the Minecraft fandom. I am also part of the Pokemon fandom. Part of too many fandoms. I also have way too many plushies. I am also an artist. I love to draw. I've recently gotten myself into like inking my art and coloring it in with colored pencils, because usually when I color it's with paint, like acrylic paint. I don't do oil paint. I'm sorry, but for me it's impossible to work with. Watercolor I've done on occasion. It's alright. Worked with oil pastel. I thought that was very fun. Didn't really like working with chalk, even though it's basically the same thing as oil pastel. Don't know why I didn't like chalk versus pastel. I guess, I don't know. But yeah, those are some facts about me. Let's move on to the questions. Okay, so number one, what color is your toothbrush? Mine is blue and white, kind of a teal blue, really. And it's just a regular, normal toothbrush. I also have an electric one that I use when the battery's not dying. Number two, what would you like written on your tombstone? Well, I am a pun maker, and I like to make jokes, so it'd probably be something very witty, or it'd be something that is like a famous last words phrase, even if it doesn't correlate to how I died. Something along the lines of volcano, where would be really funny. So I can imagine someone walking up to the tombstone and going, what? Just the look on their face would be priceless. I'd be laughing in the afterlife. Number three, what fictional character's life did you wish you had? Oh, I'm part of too many fandoms to answer this one. I don't know. Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon has it all together. I mean, he rides on a Night Fury. He's the chief of his clan. Toothless is the alpha dragon now, so that kind of goes hand in hand with each other. I don't know, I think Luna is pretty awesome. I have a pointillism piece of her back there, and she's the princess of the night, and she can control the moon. How awesome is that? I think Celestia is a little overrated. I don't know, I think Spider-Man is pretty cool too. I'd love to have that kind of life. Except maybe I wouldn't, because I find a lot of his villains to be really cool, so I'd be in the middle of a fight with somebody like Doc Ock, and I'd be in the middle of saying, wow, you're so awesome, and he'd like smack me into a wall, and I'd be very bad at fighting against the characters that I like a lot. So either somebody really witty and or has some kind of awesome power like Spider-Man, or somebody who has their life together like Hiccup with the clan and the Alpha Dragons. Somebody who knows what they're doing with their life. Number four, who is your idol and why? I don't have just one idol, I have several. I admire both of my parents. My dad is in the Navy, and I respect anyone who's in the military, and I feel that anyone in our military deserves to be looked up to and respected. I admire my mother because she works with CASA, which is Court Appointed Special Advocates. They work for abused and neglected children, and they go in and they fight for the child's rights, which I find is something very admirable and something you can really look up to. Somebody who can go in behind the scenes and do that kind of work is very amazing, and I love you both, Mom and Dad. I love my older sister. She's a very talented writer. She wrote a play, and when the play was put on production, I forgot. My sister wrote it. I thought we were watching some like professional Broadway play. It was amazing. She's a gifted writer, and she could probably write a book on the most boring subject on the planet and make it interesting. She's awesome. Um, I admire all of my friends. They're all super talented in some aspect. All of my friends are an artist in some way, shape, or form. Or they're very outgoing, or they're very accepting. They know exactly what to do in certain situations. Unlike me, I can become that one person who doesn't know what to do at all. um, so many actors and actresses. I mean, I'm part of so many fandoms that I'm obviously correlate to movies that there's so many actors and actresses that I love. I mean, obviously the Supernatural cast and crew. I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe cast is awesome. I'm sorry, but I love those guys. There's those two fandoms. Those are some of my top ones, right up there with the furries, which leads me into my next one. My favorite fursuiter, the person who I idolize in the furry community, is Eno89777, aka Telephone the Angel Dragon. She's a wonderful person. She's very, very creative, very funny, very adorable with her fursuit. Look up angel dragons. I'm not kidding. They're adorable. Oh my gosh. That's actually what my fursuit is. It's an angel dragon. Um, I just, she's what got me into being a furry. She's what reminded me that I want to do something like that with my life. It's really fun. Um, okay, so number 5. If there was a zombie apocalypse, would you try to survive or commit suicide? I wouldn't be able to commit suicide. I'd probably try to survive. I'd either die within the first week, or I'd survive. I mean, I love horror movies and horror stories and horror shows and things like that. So I'd put together a list of what not to do, because, I mean, if you're gonna wander away by yourself, you kind of deserve to die, because that's just a stupid move. I'm sorry. If you're with a group and you choose to break off from that group for any reason, why? Why? Have you seen a horror movie ever in your life? Ever? It's never a good idea to split up, guys. Don't listen to Fred. It's not a good idea to split up. um, so number 6. What would you do if a genie gave you 3 wishes? Oh, I wrote these down. Shout out to Donna, because that first wish was really creative, and I like that. Also, Izzy, Pokemon, real. I like it. But my first one is actually an idea I got from my sister a long while ago, same topic. The wish is to be able to reach into your pocket or your purse or your bag or whatever it is that you have on you and pull out the exact amount of money you need to pay for something. So if you needed $10 cash to pay for something, you could reach into your pocket and pull out $10 cash. I think that'd be awesome, in all honesty. Okay, number 2 might seem a little strange, but bear with me. I think that I would wish for heroes like Iron Man, Captain America, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, maybe not Green Lantern, because I personally think he's lame, to be real. Why? Because I think our military and our soldiers deserve a break. And there are people out in the hero world like Wolverine who don't need an army to back them up. They can go in and get things done without much of an issue. Plus, if you got somebody like Deadpool on your side, you'll be fine. He can heal himself up in 5 seconds flat. It'll be cool. That might backfire, though, because where there's heroes, there's villains, and I'm pretty sure that we don't want that, so I might have to clarify heroes only, or make heroes real, make the villains real, but put the villains on our side, because I'm pretty sure if we had somebody like Magneto on our side, we'd win any war in 5 seconds flat. Everything on the other side of the team that's made out of metal, he just clenched his fist and everything would be destroyed, let's face it. Plus, if we had some geniuses out there like Doc Ock and Lizard on our side, we'd be fine. We would all be fine. I think America would be safe. I think we would win any war or fight that we were up against right now. Okay. I'm a Marvel fan, can you tell? Where was I? Okay, oh yeah, third wish. I almost forgot my third wish. This is something that I'm sure every artist wants. The ability to draw out what I'm seeing in my head. I can't tell you how many times I've thought of a drawing, thought out how I wanted to look, and then I draw it on paper and it looks like a stick figure. It's really frustrating. I'd love to be able to see what I want to draw in my mind and then project it out on paper accurately. That would save me a lot of trouble. Okay, so number 7. Are you a cat or a dog person? I am both. I love animals, actually. I have 2 little dogs sitting on my bed right now. Those are my children. But I also love animals. I love birds, dogs, cats, dolphins, whales. I think animals are awesome. However, the smaller it is, like a little gerbil or something, the more weary I get because I'm like, I'm afraid to drop the poor thing. I'd feel awful. Also, no insects. I can do a snake. I can do a lizard. Never gonna do a spider. Sorry, no, not happening. um, or crickets. No insects in general. Number 8. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Maybe invisibility if I could turn other objects invisible as well, because I think it'd be kind of pointless to be invisible and not be able to turn something that you're holding invisible as well. I don't think mind control is my kind of power because I feel like that'd end up backfiring at one point. Ability to fly would be kind of cool. I think telekinesis, because telekinesis allows you to do a lot of different things. Like you can manipulate objects, so you would technically be able to fly, have super strength, and you'd be able to. You'd be like Professor X in a sense, which I think would be kind of cool. Or I could have Spider-Man's powers. I think I'm witty enough to be Spider-Man. I like making puns and jokes. Oh, I said that earlier, didn't I? So I'm gonna go with telekinesis on that one. Number 9. If you could have lunch with anyone in the world, who would you choose? If it's one person, I'm doomed because I wouldn't be able to pick just one person. I'd have to be able to pick a group. And if I'm able to pick a group, I'd put all of my idols in the same room. Be an interesting time in my opinion, because that's a lot of different people in the same room. Like all my actors and actresses, all my idols in the same room together, having lunch. That would be something I'd put a camera up somewhere because that would be a internet worthy video, I'm sure. Okay, so number 10. The angel of death is in a good mood and offers you 30 minutes before you bite it. What do you do? I would leave. I would resolve any conflict or go through every conversation I've had with anyone and the last conversation I had with anyone and figure out if I'm satisfied with that conversation. And if I'm not, I would go back and I'd leave the last conversation I ever had with somebody something I wouldn't regret. If the last conversation I had with somebody was an argument, I'd go back and I'd apologize. Even if I was at fault, they were at fault, it wouldn't matter. I would leave it at a point where I would not regret it. Because I think that would be the worst thing to do, is to leave behind a conversation, is to leave somebody in a state that you regret. And if I had any time to do anything after that, I'd go see the Northern Lights, because that's on my bucket list, even though it's one of those things I think I'd never be able to do. But if it's the angel of death and you can do whatever you want, I'd be like, hey, go take me to see the Northern Lights real quick, because those are really cool, and I'd love to see those. Yeah, so that's all 10 questions. I'm looking forward to working with you guys. I'm looking forward to the scavenger hunt. This will be an interesting and a very exciting and awesome event. I'm pretty sure this will be. So, go team, we eat pie. Bye.